AirAsia Berhad is a Malaysian low-cost airline headquartered near Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. It is the largest airline in Malaysia in fleet size and destinations, the largest low-cost airline in the Southeast Asia. AirAsia Group operates scheduled domestic and international flights to 100 destinations spanning 22 countries. Its main hub is KLIA2, the low-cost carrier terminal at Kuala Lumpur International Airport in Sepang, Selangor, Malaysia. All its Kuala Lumpur departures and arrivals operate through this terminal. Its affiliate airlines Thai AirAsia, Indonesia AirAsia, Philippines AirAsia, and AirAsia India have hubs in Don Muang International Airport, Soekarno-Hatta International Airport, Ninoy Aquino International Airport, and Kempegoda International Airport respectively, while its subsidiary, AirAsia X, focuses on long-haul routes. AirAsia's registered office is in Petaling Jaya, Selangor, while its head office is at Kuala Lumpur International Airport. AirAsia operates with the world's lowest unit cost of $0.023 per available seat kilometers and a passenger break-even load factor of 52%. It has hedged 100% of its fuel requirements for the next 3 years, achieves an aircraft turnaround time of 25 minutes, has a crew productivity level that is triple that of Malaysia Airlines, and achieves an average aircraft utilization rate of 13 hours a day. In 2007, Joshua Kurlontsik of the New York Times described the airline as a pioneer of low-cost travel in Asia. AirAsia is the sponsor of Malaysia national football team, Singapore national football team, and Queen's Park Rangers. AirAsia is also a former sponsor of Manchester United and Asia Red Tour. History: AirAsia was established in 1993 and began operations on the 18th of November 1996. It was founded by a government-owned conglomerate, DRBHCom, on the 2nd of December 2001. The heavily indebted airline was bought by former Time Warner executive Tony Fernandez's company Tune RSDNBHD for the token sum of 1 ringgit, with 11 million United States dollars worth of debts. Fernandez turned the company around, producing a profit in 2002 and launching new routes from its hub in Kuala Lumpur, undercutting former monopoly operator Malaysia Airlines with promotional fares as low as 1 Malaysian ringgit. In 2003, AirAsia opened a second hub at Senai International Airport in Johor Bahru near Singapore and launched its first international flight to Bangkok. AirAsia subsequently started its Thai AirAsia affiliate and began flights to Singapore and Indonesia. Flights to Macau started in June 2004, and flights to mainland China and the Philippines in April 2005. Flights to Vietnam and Cambodia followed in 2005 and to Brunei and Myanmar in 2006, the latter by Thai AirAsia. In August 2006, AirAsia took over Malaysia Airlines' rural air service routes in Sabah and Sarawak, operating under the Flyer Siang Express brand. The routes were returned to Maswings a year later, citing commercial reasons. At the end of 2006, Fernandez unveiled a 5-year plan to further enhance AirAsia's presence in Asia. Under the plan, AirAsia proposed enhancing its route network by connecting all of its existing destinations throughout the region and expanding further into Vietnam, Indonesia, southern China and India, through its sister companies, Thai AirAsia and Indonesia AirAsia. The plan called for a focus on developing its hub in Bangkok and Jakarta, With increased frequency and the addition of new routes, AirAsia increased passenger volume to 13.9 million in its 2007 fiscal year. During 2007, passengers from the barrier-free environment and accessible transport group protested against the airline over its refusal to fly passengers who were completely immobile. They claimed that people with disabilities were discriminated against when booking tickets online. The CEO of the airline said it did not turn away wheelchair-bound passengers. On the 27th of September 2008, the company announced 106 new routes to be added to its list of 60. The number of old routes discontinued has not been disclosed. In August 2011, AirAsia agreed to form an alliance with Malaysia Airlines by means of a share swap. The alliance was struck down by the Malaysian government, in effect voiding the agreement of both airlines. By early 2013, AirAsia's profits increased by 168% on a year-over-year basis compared to the same period in 2012. For the quarter ending the 31st of December 2012, the airline's net profit stood at 350.65 million ringgit. Despite a 1% rise in the average fuel price, the airline recorded profits of 1.88 billion ringgit for its full 2012 fiscal year. In February 2013, AirAsia submitted an application to the Indian Foreign Investment Promotion Board through its investment arm, AirAsia Investment Limited, to seek approval for commencing its operations in India. AirAsia asked to take a 49% stake in the Indian sister airline, which was the maximum allowed by the Indian government at the time. AirAsia committed to invest up to $50 million in the new airline. Operations would begin in Chennai, expanding its network throughout South India, where AirAsia already operates flights from Malaysia and Thailand. Corporate affairs. The head office is the LCC terminal at Kuala Lumpur International Airport in Sepang, Selangor. The registered office is on level 13 of the Menara Prima Tower B in Petaling Jaya. The airline planned to move its head office to a new 613,383 square feet (RM 140 mil) facility constructed at KLIA-2. Until the new head office opens, the airline's head office will remain at LCCT. The new KLIA-2 head office is scheduled to open in the end of 2015. It is scheduled to hold about 2,000 AirAsia and AirAsia.Its employees. Erin Omar, the AirAsia country CEO of Malaysia, stated that the headquarters needed to be redesigned because in the KLIA-2 plans the location of the control tower had been changed. Construction on the facility was scheduled to begin in July 2014. Malaysia Airports Holdings is leasing the land that will be occupied by the headquarters. Filipina AirAsia ex-flight attendant January Ann Beza gave the building the name Headquarters, or REDQ, and its groundbreaking ceremony was held in November 2014. Affiliate airlines. AirAsia India. In October 2012, AirAsia's management said that they were keen to have more presence in India if the aviation environment and tax structure were conducive and friendly for low-cost airline operations, with the Indian government allowing a foreign direct investment of up to 49%. The airline CEO Tony Fernandes tweeted, "Fantastic news that India has opened up investments to foreign airlines." Quote, he said that it was now easier for him to set up an airline in India. Tony Fernandes called the joint venture with Tata Sons a marriage made in heaven. He said that the Tatas know India very well and have a good reputation. A tie-up with the company would help AirAsia operate efficiently. Fernandez said that he would concentrate mainly on the 1 million South Indians who traveled by rail. AirAsia announced its Indian low-cost affiliate airline on the 19th of February 2013. The airline would be operated as a joint venture, with AirAsia holding 49% of the airline. Arun Bhatia took up 21% and Tata Sons the remaining 30% stake in the airline. The joint venture would also mark Tata Sons' return to aviation industry after 60 years. AirAsia is the first foreign airline to set up an affiliate airline in India. The airline is headquartered in Chennai and planned to make Chennai International Airport as its hub. Later, the primary hub of the airlines was shifted to Kempegowda International Airport, Bangalore. The maiden flight of AirAsia's India venture on Bangalore-Goa route took off on the 12th of June 2014. The airline announced that Indira Gandhi International Airport, Delhi will be its hub for North Indian operations. AirAsia Japan, AirAsia and Japanese network airline All Nippon Airways announced their joint venture at a press conference in Tokyo on the 21st of July 2011. Following its establishment in August 2011, AirAsia Japan flew its first flight in August 2012. AirAsia Japan was the first low-cost airline to be based at Narita International Airport. Its formation was announced only months after ANA had announced the formation of Peach, a low-cost airline based at Kansai International Airport in Osaka, and alongside a concurrent effort by Japan Airlines to set up a low-cost affiliate. ANA elected to partner with an existing low-cost airline for efficiency and strategic advantage. It was the fifth affiliate airline for AirAsia and the ninth for ANA. The airline was headquartered alongside ANA in Tokyo, with its main operating base at Narita, and served domestic destinations, utilizing the brand and service model of AirAsia. Future planned international destinations included the Philippines, South Korea, and Taiwan. AirAsia Japan terminated its operations on the 27th of October 2013 after announcing the dissolution of its joint venture in June 2013. In a press release on the 1st of July 2014, AirAsia announced a relaunch of the AirAsia Japan brand. The first flight is scheduled to depart in the summer of 2015. AirAsia is the long-haul operation of AirAsia. The franchise is able to keep costs down by using a common ticketing system, aircraft livery, employee uniforms, and management style. AirAsia is also affiliated with Virgin Group and Air Canada. On the 17th of May 2007, Tony Fernandez announced plans to commence flights from Malaysia to Australia. Fernandez said he would be avoiding Sydney Airport due to its high fees. Instead, the airline would concentrate on cheaper alternatives such as Melbourne's Avalon Airport, Williamtown Airport in Newcastle, and Adelaide Airport. Sustained fares were predicted to be around 800 Malaysian ringgit for a return fare, plus taxes. Interest was also expressed in using Gold Coast Airport as another Australian destination. On the 14th of May 2007, AirAsia confirmed that it had ordered 15 Airbus A330-300 aircraft, 5 more than originally announced. The aircraft were scheduled for delivery from the fourth quarter of 2008. On the 27th of March 2008, AirAsia signed a firm contract for another 10 Airbus A330-300s, bringing the airline's total order to 25. AirAsia received its first A330 on 31 October 2008 in Toulouse, France. As of the 14th of February 2008, 48% of AirAsia.Its is owned by AeroVentures, a venture of Tony Fernandes, other prominent Malaysians, and Air Canada's Robert Milton. Virgin Group owns 16% and a further 16% is owned by AirAsia. Bahrain-based Manara Consortium and Japan-based ORIX Corp have taken a 20% stake in AirAsia.Its for $250 million. At the 1st of March 2016, the fleet consists of 20 Airbus A330-300 aircraft. The airline also has 2 Airbus A330-300, 66 Airbus A330-900 and 10 Airbus A350-900s on order. Indonesia AirAsia and AMP AirAsia.Its Indonesia AirAsia operates scheduled domestic, international services and is an Indonesian associate carrier of Malaysian low-fare airline AirAsia. Its main base is Soekarno-Hatta International Airport, Jakarta. Until July 2010, Indonesia AirAsia, along with many Indonesian airlines, was banned from flying to the EU due to safety concerns. However, the ban was lifted on July 2010. The airline was established as AWARE in 1999 by Abdurrahman Wafid, former chairman of the Nahdlatul Ulama Muslim organization. He had a 40% stake in the airline which he relinquished after being elected president of Indonesia in October 1999. On the 1st of December 2005, AWARE changed its name to Indonesia AirAsia in line with the other AirAsia-branded airlines in the region. AirAsia Berhad has a 49% share in the airline, with Firstindo Nusa Perkasa owning 51%. Indonesia's laws disallow majority foreign ownership on domestic civil aviation operations. Indonesia AirAsia.Its is a joint venture of AirAsia.Its. It serves Indonesia AirAsia's regularly scheduled long-haul international flights from Bali's Ngurah Rai International Airport. Indonesia AirAsia.Its launched its first flight to Taipei on the 29th of January 2015. Indonesian low-cost carrier Indonesia AirAsia looks set to cease operations as a standalone carrier and be merged with sister AirAsia subsidiary, Indonesia AirAsia.Its. Philippines AirAsia Philippines AirAsia is a joint venture between Filipino investors and AirAsia. The Filipino group include Antonio Cojuangco, Jr., former owner of Associated Broadcasting Company with flagship television station TV5, Michael Romero, a real estate developer and port operator, and Marianne Hontiveros. The joint venture was approved on the 7th of December 2010 by the Board of Investments, an agency in the Philippines in charge of big-ticket investments. AirAsia Airways, Inc., operating as AirAsia, is a joint venture between AirAsia and AMP Amy Holdings, Inc., the company who owns Zesto Corporation in the Philippines. It operates scheduled domestic and international tourist services, mainly feeder services linking Manila and Cebu with 24 domestic destinations in support of the trunk route operations of other airlines. In 2013, the airline became a sister airline of AirAsia Philippines, operating the brand separately. Its main base is in Ninoy Aquino International Airport, Manila, and with a hub at Mactan Cebu International Airport, Cebu. The airline was founded as Asian Spirit, the first airline in the Philippines to be run as a cooperative. It was rebranded as Air on March 2008. On 16 August 2013, the Civil Aviation Authority of the Philippines, the regulating body of the Government of the Republic of the Philippines for civil aviation, suspended Zestair flights until further notice due to safety issues. Less than a year after AirAsia and Zestair's strategic alliance, the two companies rebranded as AirAsia on the 18th of September 2013. Philippines AirAsia is one of the Philippine air carriers banned in the European Union. On the 15th of August 2011, Philippines AirAsia took delivery of its first brand new aircraft, an Airbus A320, which arrived at Clark International Airport in Clark, Angeles City, Pampanga. On the 8th of November 2011, Philippines AirAsia took delivery of its second A320. On the 7th of February 2012, the airline received its Air Operator Certificate from the Civil Aviation Authority of the Philippines, which gives the airline permission to fly in Philippine airspace. Thai AirAsia and AMP AirAsia. Thai AirAsia is a joint venture between AirAsia and Thailand's Asia Aviation. Thai AirAsia launched domestic operations on February 2004. It serves AirAsia's regularly scheduled domestic and international flights from Bangkok and other cities in Thailand. Thai AirAsia was the only low-cost airline operating both domestic and international flights from the Suvarnabhumi Airport. The airline shifted all operations from Suvarnabhumi Airport to Don Muang International Airport effective the 1st of October 2012. Thai AirAsia is 55% owned by Asia Aviation, 45% owned by AirAsia International. The airline sponsors the Thai football teams Buriram United, SCG Muangthong United, Chonburi, Osots Basaraburi, Becdero Sasana, Chiang Rai United, Azan United, Chainat, Samad, Prakansi Utd, Bangkok United, FC Phuket, Krabi, Air Force United, Nakhon Phanom, LOEI City, Trang, and the referee of Football Association of Thailand. Thai AirAsia X is Thailand's first long-haul low-cost airline. It was scheduled to begin operations in June 2014. After putting off the launch that had been planned for the first quarter, Thai AirAsia X was to launch its maiden service from Bangkok to Incheon, South Korea on the 17th of June and then begin regular flights to Japan's Narita Airport in Tokyo and Osaka around July. Destinations. Fleet. The total AirAsia fleet consists of the following aircraft. On the 28th of February 2014, AirAsia deferred 7 Airbus A320 and 12 Airbus A320 in 2014 and 2015 respectively. Fleet renewal. Previously operating the Boeing 737-300, AirAsia has now completely converted to the Airbus A320-200. In June 2011, AirAsia ordered 200 Airbus A320 Neos at the Paris Air Show. The planes are due to become available in 2015, and the deal is one of the largest ever for commercial aircraft in a single order. The deal was worth $18 billion at list prices, although it is likely that AirAsia obtained a substantial discount from those prices. The deal makes AirAsia Airbus' single biggest customer. On the 13th of December 2012, AirAsia placed an order for an additional 100 Airbus A320 jets, splitting it between 64 A320 Neo and 36 A320 CEO. With this, the total number of orders that AirAsia had placed for the Airbus A320 had gone up to 475. At the Farnborough International Airshow in 2016, AirAsia ordered 100 A321 Neos at an estimated cost of $12.6 billion at list prices. With the addition of these larger A321, AirAsia planned to fly them to airports that have infrastructure constraints, which allow more passengers per plane services. On board, AirAsia offers Snack Attack, a buy-on-board program offering food and drinks for purchase. AirAsia is accredited by the KL-Sharia Index, and in accordance with Sharia law it does not serve alcohol or pork. However, this applies only to the regional AirAsia group flights, and not to the AirAsia X flights which do sell wine and beer on board. Frequent flyer program. AirAsia is taking the first steps towards starting its own frequent fly program. The airline has signed an agreement to start a joint venture with financial services firm Tune Money to launch a program called BIG. Under this program it will issue loyalty points to AirAsia customers and third-party merchants. Points can then be used to redeem AirAsia flights. On-board luggage. On-board baggage is limited to a single piece of luggage that is less than 7 kilograms plus a small personal item. Checked baggage is 100% fee-based. Checked baggage fees, as with most similar airlines, are lowest when purchased during booking, and are more expensive when purchased during check-in or at the airport. The checked baggage weight allowance may be shared amongst multiple passengers on the same booking. Controversies. AirAsia maintains a no-refund policy on substantially all of its commercial routes. In 2014, the company initiated a partial refund policy restricted to flights departing from South Korea after receiving hundreds of fare dispute claims that led the South Korean government to recommend a revision in its policy. This revision does not apply to flights departing from elsewhere in the world, where the no-refund policy remains intact. Awards and recognition. The 2012 World Airline Awards at the Farnborough Air Show ranked the airline as the world's best low-cost airline. AirAsia has been named as the world's best low-cost carrier for 8 years in a row, including the latest award for the year 2016.